of Daimler Mercedes. In an interview with, I think it was Speed Week magazine, confirmed before the race that Nico Rosberg will drive for Mercedes in 2017. Now, that's not been confirmed to any of us here at Sky Sports F1, but there is a story doing the rounds that Rosberg will drive in 2017, and if that is the case, well, that's the timely contract negotiation conclusion before today's crash.
And Ricciardo then getting the DRS off the back marker Haryanto, stealing a bit of a slipstream off him for good measure as well.
Verstappen's catching him though, isn't it?
Yeah, and he didn't have his DRS open, did he? Another eyesore.
Definitely catching him, as we can go down to hear from Toto Wolff now with Simon.
Toto, can you tell us what was said in there, please?
We spoke to both drivers. It's not a clear-cut, very difficult situation for the team because we've lost 43 points after huge effort in the last couple of weeks. But we let the drivers race, and sometimes this is what happens. The stewards are going to make a decision how they see it. In our opinion, not one to blame entirely, and then let's see.
Nicky was blaming Lewis though, Toto.
Yeah, Nicky has from his driver perspective, he has an opinion, and this is his instinct, and it's fair enough that he has that. But when you look at all the data and when you have the discussions with the drivers, it's maybe different.
What's the mood like between the two? This is shades of Spa a couple of years ago, and that was fairly incendiary. How do you have to manage this one now?
Well, as I said to you again, it's a very difficult situation, and they are both pretty upset because they know about the effort, and of course they have their perspective, and we need to then talk with them again, look at the pictures, look at the data, and under any circumstance avoid this to happen in the future.
Thank you.
Toto Wolff, I think, being very diplomatic and keeping his counsel there before the stewards make their decision a little later on. Standing very much within DRS range still of Daniel Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel, just hanging on to the back, and of course it's understandable that Verstappen is starting to squirm around just like that through turn 3, and Sebastian Vettel probably as well, Martin, because they're running so close to the car in front.
Yeah, and the turbulent air, as one engineer very eloquently described to me, there's less energy in the air you drive into when it's been used by the car in front. If we've got less downforce, the car starts sliding around a bit, but Max is carrying some nice forward speed with it. But Ricciardo, I think, is driving a race that he knows he can win in a style with which he can win it with.
Yeah. Just keeping them at arm's length at the moment, not trying to exert too much. And Kimi Räikkönen is not really making much of an impression in fourth. He's not really joining this battle at the moment, is he?
Quite, not yet. Verstappen had DRS down to turn 10 that time. There's another point, isn't there, just before the last corner? No, just out of the chicane, actually, isn't it? Yeah, just before the last corner, out of the chicane they're coming to, where there's another reference point for DRS down the pit straight. But they both somehow, they mustn't squabble, they've got to stay away from Vettel, because I think Vettel's got enough straight line speed. Some talk they took a bit of wing out of that Ferrari for qualifying yesterday, which hampered them quite badly. And still, and look at that, Verstappen hasn't got DRS down the pit straight.
No. It's because Ricciardo in the last sector was a tenth quicker than Verstappen was, and that tenth was crucial. 1.1 seconds in the detection zone, which is just from the exit of that final chicane.
Old school race, eh? Top 4 all in the same TV shot. Liking that. Liking that a lot.
Yeah, those were the days. It was black and white the last time we saw that, wasn't it? So after these top 4 comes Valtteri Bottas for Williams, running a fairly lonely race in 5th place. Carlos Sainz has Jenson Button 4 seconds, Sergio Perez I should say, 4 seconds behind him in 7th. Then Jenson Button about 7 seconds further back. Button now about 3 and a bit seconds ahead of his teammate Fernando Alonso. Romain Grosjean is starting to close in and has DRS to use in his bid to get past Alonso. And Esteban Gutierrez is the man just outside the points, currently in 11th. Kevin Magnussen ahead of his teammate Jolyon Palmer, and then comes Felipe Massa, and pursuing him the Williams of Felipe Massa, who's just gone quickest, the fastest lap, as you can see, of the race so far on the soft compound tyre. Pascal Wehrlein ahead of Danny Kvyat, is into the pits now. Comes Daniel Ricciardo, then comes Ericsson and Haryanto. It's head down to you.
Okay, so it looks like it is a 3-stop then, just leading from the front, just doing the quickest strategy they possibly can, because this then does somewhat play into Sebastian Vettel's hands. Let's see how Ferrari go from here. It's the soft tyres for the middle stint for Daniel Ricciardo. Okay, let's see. We'll have his pace now. I think he's just trying to manage the pace towards the end of the stint on the medium tyres there. So let's see what pace he's got now and how long Verstappen stays out. That's going to be crucial, isn't it? Can Red Bull use Verstappen against Vettel here, guys?
Well, playing the team game, I'm sure they can. What was really important there was that Ricciardo came in. This is Christian Horner on an anniversary, gets to come down and see maybe a Red Bull win as a little anniversary gift as well. That'll please hubby when he takes her out for a bit of tapas later on tonight. What was important there was that Ricciardo came out ahead of Valtteri Bottas, and he did by enough of a margin. Because you don't want to get stuck behind the Williams there. That could completely wreck his race.
I thought you were going to come out with some words from a Spice Girls song there or something appropriate.
No, Spice Girls are not my thing. If you want a song reference, I'll tell you there are 3 out here. Rosberg, Hamilton and Hülkenberg, who pulled over to see a marshal with an extinguisher after telling the team I'm on fire.
Very good.
I'll get you a Springsteen reference instead.
So well, your voice is a little soft today. Mr. Crocky been singing to Mr. Springsteen all last
I
night.
was duetting with the boss for about 3.5 hours last night.
You and 50,000 of your bestest friends. Yeah?
Absolutely, we had a blast of the
great.
weekend. It was unbelievable. 36 songs in that set last night.
So Verstappen does lead a lap.
So what's happening now is Sebastian Vettel and Ferrari are trying to undercut Max Verstappen. Verstappen has completed the lap. He is now officially the youngest driver ever to lead a lap in Formula One World Championship history. But what's going to be crucial now is what Sebastian Vettel does on this lap and whether Verstappen can hold off the Ferrari. There was only about a 1.5 second at best difference between the two, and the undercut is really powerful here. And you know what? By not coming in, Red Bull might have made a bit of a gaffe at this moment in the race for Max Verstappen.
I wonder why they didn't pick Verstappen there, unless they're going to try and run him a few laps longer. It makes no sense to pit him next time around, really. Ted, what do you think?
I think Ferrari saw what was coming, that Red Bull were going to use Verstappen against them to try and slow Vettel's pace down, and they're just taking their own initiative, perhaps put Vettel on a 3-stop now and try the undercut. This is going to be great. This is going to be fascinating. What are Red Bull now going to do to respond to what they do with Verstappen?
Well, they either respond
Not
now.
sure they can do much, can they? I think Vettel's going to have this.
They either respond now, but that might be fighting a lost cause,
Yep.
or they go to a two-stop strategy with it, which might be the way forward. Who knows?
I think Vettel's going to have this one.
Yeah, he's in a very fast middle sector, very fast indeed. On the way out of the pit, Sebastian Vettel.
Well, they're keeping Verstappen out because there he is. They've got Kimi Raikkonen behind him. He leads this race. Kimi Raikkonen is currently second, then Ricciardo, then Vettel, then Bottas, the top 5. But only one stop so far for the first 2, 3 and 4 have been into the pits for their second stop.
And the 2-stop. Max Verstappen. Will it work? Will he be fast enough? Meanwhile, Raikkonen, Ricciardo's done a new fastest lap of the race as well with his fresh tyres. Vettel's absolutely flying on his outlap, as I said. So Max might find himself when he pits in 3rd place. Let's see.
This is going to be fascinating, Martin. Depends when he pits. They've either cost him here a second place, or they've given him the best chance possible of maybe winning this race as well and making a two-stop strategy work. District Mateschitz, who I assume he's got a big TV on the other side of that whiteboard to watch the race with. But could it be that the first ever Dutchman to lead a Grand Prix, first ever Dutchman to so the youngest ever driver, I should say, to lead a Grand Prix, might become the youngest winner of this race? It might still happen yet for Max Verstappen. We might get a Dutch driver winning a Grand Prix for the first time ever. And then he can turn around to his dad, who, Jos Verstappen, has said, look, I'm going to take a back seat now. I'm going to stop kind of micromanaging or managing my son. He's wherever we want him to be. He's at Red Bull now. I'm just going to sit back, let Christian Horner and Dr. Helmut Marko take charge and responsibility. Well, it might be that Max turns around and says, yeah, thanks, Dad. Come and have a celebration instead.
Well, Jos has done his job, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got his boy into a car that can win a Grand Prix, and they are in a very strong place. And he's 18 years old, and he can actually step back a little bit. And I'm sure the team uses it as an opportunity to go, all right, Jos, we'll take you from here. Well done so far. And that's absolutely right.
Ricciardo and Vettel trading fastest laps in this race with their new tyres that have gone on. And they're currently running in 3rd and in 4th. But with news down at Renault, Ted.
Been a surprise appearance of the hard tyre, Crofty. It's gone on to Kevin Magnussen's car, and he's going to try and go to the end. The hard tyre, we never thought we'd see that race today, did we?
Well, the only one that ran in the hard tyre for any lengthy stints on Friday was Carlos Sainz in the Toro Rosso. But I don't think it worked out too well for them.
Can he's catching Max? Vettel is now only 18.7 seconds behind Max Verstappen. It takes longer than that to make a pit stop.
Certainly does. Charging at the moment is Sebastian Vettel as he makes his way through the back markers.
So both teams then looked at their split strategy. It's Ricciardo versus Vettel. Sounds familiar. Verstappen versus Raikkonen on 2 different concepts.
Probably, yeah.
And I don't know which one will work out best.
We're at half race distance, aren't we? And we're on board with Esteban Gutierrez. And that's Felipe Nasser that was alongside him and is now behind him for the moment. And that just ahead is Roman Grosjean, his teammate, who was locking up. Good move that from Gutierrez. Getting some overtaking done for the first time in a while. The Sauber of Felipe Nasser struggling a bit. That's now 14th. Gutierrez 13th. And Roman Grosjean is 12th. Both Grosjean and Gutierrez, they have been in for their second stop so far. Meanwhile, just looking at the difference between Ricciardo and Vettel, now down to 3 seconds. And he's started to catch the former race leader and his former teammate is Sebastian Vettel, both on the soft compound tyre.
Julian Palmer 1 place off points at the moment in 11th, having a very solid afternoon, it seems. There's been so much action at the front, we haven't really had a chance to look down there, but Button remains ahead of Alonso, not by much, but he's there.
Alonso catching him. This is how Gutierrez and the Nasser scrap unfolded and wound its way out. This was down into turn 4, where the two Mercedes, of course, tangled. No retreat from Hamilton, no surrender from Rosberg. Much cleaner move on the exit of it this time around from Esteban Gutierrez.
It's good driving. It's not easy to take 4 and 5 side by side.
A lot fairer on that particular occasion. I said Vettel was catching out on the track. Sorry, that's Raikkonen on Verstappen. He's also catching now. He's taken 0.6 of a second out of Verstappen on the previous lap. So Vettel catching Ricciardo. That gap is now down to about 2.5 seconds.